So it's 7:19 a.m. in the morning, and this is what I sound like every single morning when I wake up, which I need to resolve because obviously it's not good for seeing. And that's basically after a whole night of breathing through my mouth and stuff. So I've got the pool here, and it is freezing cold, and I'm not looking forward to this, but I'm going to jump in and try and stay in for over 5 minutes, possibly 10. I'm running a little bit late for this new job that I'm working at, so I better get on with it. But yeah, let's try and activate that vagus nerve as I was talking about yesterday. So I just completed 10 minutes. What I did is I went all the way up to the neck, so I didn't actually put my head in, and I'm not actually sure if you're meant to or not, so that's one of the things that I'll figure out later on and change for next time, I guess, if I should do it differently. Basically around like 5 minutes it started to get a lot easier, and it, like, I guess I kind of felt warm when I was in there, which is like your body kind of protecting you almost. Obviously it's freezing cold, but I do definitely feel good. It was actually not that difficult. The initial bit was hard, but I kept breathing and I tried to really slow it down as well. But yeah, I might possibly do it this evening when I get back, but we'll see. But yeah, 10 minutes completed in there. I'll let you know obviously if it affects the vocal stuff and loosens everything up, but we'll see. I think maybe I should have put my head in, but that's something I'll look into and maybe change for next time. All right, see you later. So I'm back inside, and I just had a cold shower to obviously get some of the chlorine off, but this is where the shivering is really kicking in. And I've heard from like Andrew Huberman that the shivering part's supposed to be quite good for you, so I'm trying to just like embrace it rather than I guess stop it. But yeah, got to get dressed now for work, and I think the camera's probably shaky as well. So yeah, the shivering is basically my body coming back to normal levels. So something else that supposedly activates and stimulates the vagus nerve, which is found here, and also it goes throughout your body down to your stomach, is meditation and like slow breathing. So along with the cold water therapy from this morning, I decided to do a 1 hour meditation while at work. So I kind of just had my headphones in and was doing really slow breathing. And what I noticed with that is that my circulation in my body, I'm usually pretty cold all over, but I felt my hands suddenly being really warm after about 10 minutes or so. So I did that for about an hour. So I'm wondering, should I implement doing the cold water therapy and the meditation and like slow breathing stuff into my like daily routine? But then if you chuck in like exercise and then all the music stuff as well, and then the 9 to 5, that ends up meaning I'm like cutting back on sleep, so I've got to be careful with that. But yeah, so what I'm going to try and do is do the meditation and the cold water stuff, because I mean, hopefully after a while, after a few days or weeks and stuff of doing that stuff, I can stimulate the vagus nerve, and that is associated with dealing with problems like sinusitis, like dizziness, headaches, muscle tension, and also in fact acid reflux as well. So it can cause low stomach acid if not working properly, and also bad posture. So I've often been like leaning forward my head for as long as I can remember, really. So if I can, and it also helps with your mood, anxiety and all these things. So the vagus nerve, if I can stimulate that, then it theoretically could solve a whole bunch of problems. And that's why people like, Wim Hof and stuff, why, he's not getting sick and can not react to being injected with stuff that should cause lots of inflammation in his body, because he's got a really strong vagus nerve that's working for him, and not against him, basically. Because if it's weak, then it doesn't do its job properly. It doesn't have its opportunity to flourish and work for you. And another thing that I wanted to mention is that I tested my heart rate today, and it was the resting heart rate was about 100 beats per minute. Now you're meant to be, for a normal person, not like an athlete, is like 60 to 100 beats per minute. So I'm definitely on the right at the top end of that. But ideally, if you're going to be an athlete, like a singer supposedly is meant to be, athletes, like endurance athletes especially, have heart rates of like 40, which is extremely low. But I imagine that these athletes, they don't have lots of inflammation everywhere and stuff. In fact, my sister's husband, if after a serious bit of exercise, his heart rate is so much lower than everyone else who's doing it, because he's trained to be in stressful situations with his body. So it'd be really cool if I could take steps to get my heart rate down as well, and that all ties into the vagus nerve, which ties into all the health problems that you might have, like the muscle tension, anxiety stuff. So it kind of solves mental and physical problems if you can get it under control. So the two things I'm going to be doing is the meditation and the cold water therapy, and I'll try and do that for a few weeks and see how it goes, I guess. But yeah, things that I guess I've looked into those things before. So I've done cold showers. I said I did cold showers for a year last year, and I've done meditation here and there, but I've never done it for that long or that consistently. And with the cold water, I did it for like max 3 minutes or something at a time, and I wasn't focusing necessarily on breathing. Like, I guess when your body is like properly cold, like it was this morning, your body really starts to warm up itself after about 3 minutes. So if I can stay in there for 5-10 minutes like I did this morning, and then I noticed, even when I got out, I dried so quickly, because my body is then so warm on the so it just like kind of dries the droplets off you like almost immediately, which was pretty strange. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So I guess by putting yourself in stressful situations, your body and your vagus nerve, which controls a lot of the stuff in your body, gets used to that standard, and can adjust accordingly. So I'm hoping that will maybe help with all the tension and anxiety and nasal inflammation, acid reflux, all these things, because it seems like I've got all these different things, but it could all come under one umbrella. So it's pretty cool to know that could be the case. But now's the point where I've got to really test that out. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So the time is 8:10 p.m. and when I got home today after work, I went into the pool again for another 10 minutes. Again, like submerging myself up to the neck. When I was reading during the day, it seemed to be saying that you should like splash water on your face. So I decided to do that, because I guess I could have gone with my head underwater, but I guess I was kind of worried if something bad happens and I'm kind of stuck down there. So I thought it'd be better to keep my head above the water. And then immediately afterwards, I did some deep breathing. I was talking about meditation earlier. So I'm now doing like 3 things. I often pivot, as you can probably tell. So 3 things. So the cold water therapy, the cold water exposure, which is 10 minutes, 2 times a day. I know it's a lot, but I need some results, so that's why. And so 10 minutes, 2 times a day. And then the deep breathing. And I'm kind of using the Wim Hof method for that. So really deep, kind of, I guess, fast breaths almost. And you also combine that with like breath holding and stuff. And then also, and so I'll do that 10 minutes twice a day, immediately after the cold water therapy. And then I'm going to do and I've already done this, but like a meditation. So that ends up being about an hour in total, and that's something that I can fit into my day. The only thing is, because I'm going in the pool, afterwards I'll need a shower each time, so it ends up bringing it more to like an hour and a half that I've got to dedicate to it every day. But that's fine, because I'm going to do it before and after work. And the idea is to stimulate the vagus nerve, which in me theoretically is weak, because I've got all these different issues like sinusitis, acid reflux, which is definitely back now. I can't, yeah, I made a video a couple of days ago saying that I might have got rid of it. It's definitely back now, so I need to get rid of that. So sinusitis, acid reflux, low stomach acid. I've terrible circulation. I was talking about that earlier today. I feel definitely warmer now after doing all that stuff today. What else? Like bad posture, which I talked about earlier. The mouth breathing at night. The tension throughout my body and anxiety. It's like, it's all linked to the vagus nerve. And that's tremendously exciting to have come across this yesterday, and I was reading a lot more on it today as well. So it's really exciting, because theoretically you can solve all of these things that I seem to have, and that you may have as well, by stimulating the vagus nerve. And the way you can do that is by doing these three things. There are other things you can do, like some massages and yoga and stuff, but that's kind of similar to the breathing and the meditation stuff as well. So these are the three key things that we're going to focus on. And you've got guys like Wim Hof and all the people that follow him and stuff. And it's like there are so many different accounts that you can see online of people solving this problem with Wim Hof, this problem with Wim Hof. And the point is that by doing the cold water exposure and by doing the meditation and doing the deep breathing, they are stimulating that vagus nerve, which is, I guess, disregarded. And that can be brought on by things like, physical things, first of all, but also things like stress and anxiety and stuff. So there are so many people around in this world who have so many of these issues that I mentioned. And if we can stimulate that vagus nerve, which is located at the back, it goes all the way through your body, as I've said, I think a couple of times in this video already. And if we can stimulate that, then we can potentially get rid of so many issues. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm obviously still going to do the apple cider vinegar stuff, because that did seem to get me to a point where it was gone, but I probably ate something or whatever. I'm not sure how that's come back, but I did manage to get it go briefly for a day or two. So I'm hopeful I can get rid of that. But yeah, we'll see. I'm going to do this for, I say a couple of weeks, but it's probably going to be until I notice something significant. And if I do, then I'll obviously keep going. If I notice no difference after 2 weeks, then everyone's wrong. Then the whole internet and all these studies that are on, then they're all wrong. But given the probability of them all being completely made up, I may as well give it a shot. So that's what I'm going to do. And obviously I'll keep you updated. Today, in terms of singing, was it better? No, it wasn't, but it's maybe slightly better. So yeah, remember what I mentioned in yesterday's video. If you do an then if your uvula is rising, then it shows that your vagus nerve is probably fine. And if it's not rising, if your tongue's very heavy and everything, and you've got lots of tension everywhere, then you might want to look into trying to strengthen that vagus nerve. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Sorry, it was quite a long video, but I got a lot of stuff to pack into it today. So yeah, see you tomorrow.